Hey everyone, my name is Josh, and this is the Teams Recap. It is Friday, actually doing one on Friday again, and we had some pretty big news this week in the Teams world that also, relates to Skype for Business, I guess. I swear we're still going to be covering Skype for Business topics on this show as they come up. It just seems like lately the newsreels have been greatly in favor of Teams developments. It is what it is, right? Okay, so let's start by and I'm all jacketed up and wearing a thicker sweatshirt of types today. It got cold here. I know I'm in Florida, but it was like 48 degrees this morning Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, like negative 34 degrees or so. I don't know. Um, it was cold. It's too cold for Florida. So yeah, I had to actually break out some. This office is separate from my house, and I put a window unit in for air conditioning, so that's all good. But I didn't get a space heater yet. So on the colder mornings coming in here, it's pretty chilly. So I need to wear a jacket in the office until I solve that problem. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's move along to our um, here we go, our infinity screen and bring up the browser. Here we go. So we're gonna start by plugging my own blog on the news of the week. Really, the Microsoft Teams roadmap was finally released earlier this week. Was that Tuesday? I think that was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, October 24th is when I published the blog. So yeah, it was Tuesday. Big news. Pretty much all of the really cool announcements that we got at Microsoft Ignite about what's coming to Teams. Look at all this cool stuff. Look at these demos. Teams is going to do this for you. And we all got really excited, but then we all had to hit the brakes and realize we don't yet have that in our Teams clients. We got to wait for them. And the big question was, well, how long do we have to wait for them? This roadmap gives us some insight into how long. Keep in mind, though, as with any roadmap from Microsoft over the last few years here, they are very fluid. These are our estimates. These are what they hope, the targets they hope to reach. And we all hope they will reach them at that time as well and not have it be an extended period of time beyond the estimates. But let's dive into what these estimates are to start with. There were a few key areas that I covered in the this blog post here. One was messaging, then we had meetings, and then we had calling. Okay, so starting out in messaging, I did not put a screenshot up of the slide deck that they presented with these three key areas. I just covered a few things that were going to be coming because messaging is good and all that, but that's not what the big deal was at Ignite. That's not what we're all really waiting for, right? We're waiting for those really cool calling features that come into Teams. We're waiting for the advanced meeting capabilities to come into Teams. So messaging, cool, but I didn't put a lot of focus there. What do we have targeted for delivery in Q1 of calendar year 2018? The ability to hide a chat, the ability to share a chat, the ability to mute chat, messaging policies, and then messaging retention policies. So instead of the default now everything is saved forever, you can get more granular with your how long you're retaining messaging. You can set it for a finite period of time rather than infinite. So that's good stuff that's coming. There was much more that was announced, but I'll let you go to their actual announcement for that stuff. Um, we've got down here in messaging, not messaging, meetings. Here we get a little more involved. So we go over some key areas, what's available today, what is coming in Q4 of this year, which we're currently in Q4, so any day now up through December, and then what's coming by the second quarter, end of second quarter, calendar year 2018. Notice we don't have any Q1. Okay, this pretty much, if it's not coming by the end of this year for meetings, then probably look for it to come by the first half of 2018. Um, so let's skip what we can do today because we mostly have a good handle there. For Q4, we have audio conferencing in over 80, 90 countries, which is currently in preview, anonymous join, interactive troubleshooting, lobby support, and then mute other participants. Um, Pretty cool. Application sharing, we saw some of that during their demos. Give and take control and sharing. Support for Edge browser as well as Chrome browser support. Again, this is meetings. And then call quality analytics being enabled. All that stuff by the end of this year, we hope. Very cool. Now, what's coming by the first half of calendar year 2018? Broadcast meetings for teams, cloud recording. Can't wait for the cloud recording. That's going to be awesome. Federated meetings. Federated meetings. Large meeting support, approximately 250 users. Lobby for PSTN callers. The Outlook meeting schedule from other platforms like OA. They put OLK Mobile here. We did have this specified that this was going to be, it would be available for Mac as well. And PSTN fallback. PowerPoint load and share. So the ability to share and load a PowerPoint and share it. Whiteboarding and meeting notes. And then we go down to some video services. Enable VTC interop services, Skype room system support, Surface Hub support, Trio one-touch meetings join. And then down here back into policies and admin stuff, we've got user level meeting policy and e-discovery enhancements. So within the next 8-ish months here, we've got a ton of new capability coming into meetings within Teams. The workplace that we currently know and Office 365 will be changing drastically very soon. And that doesn't change with meetings. As we go down to calling, we've also got a lot to look forward to here. Let's look at this again. We've got what's coming in Q4 of calendar year 2017. So this quarter, what's coming second quarter of calendar year 2018, and then what's coming by pretty much the end of the year for 2018. Let's start with this quarter. What can we expect? First, that we'll even have calling. Can't wait to be able to call from Teams. Blind transfers, call blocking, call forwarding, caller ID masking, E911 support. This doesn't say dynamic E911 support, just E911 support. Extension dialing, which is, tenant dial plans. Transfer user input to standard format phone numbers. Hold, multi-call handling, simultaneous ringing, speed dial. We saw speed dial and suggested contacts and voicemail and all the demos. And then enable existing calling plan support. So yeah, if you've got your calling plans currently and you've got dial plans currently, those are going to be available to you by the end of the year. A lot is happening by the end of the year. Very, very excited about that. Now, if we go down to interop with Skype for Business, they plan on having Skype for Business to Teams calling done by the end of the year and Teams interop policies. So deciding which users are going to be using Teams for calling and which stage they're going to be in. Is it side by side? Is it not? That stuff is coming soon. On the platform and devices, we have Windows, Mac, Edge, iOS, Android, and TTY support. Finally, for this quarter, we've got some Skype for Business to Teams interop policies, which they already kind of called up here, and then call quality diagnostic portal, which is coming as well. That's for both Teams and Skype for Business. Sweet stuff. What's coming by the second half of 2018? No, I'm sorry, the first half of 2018. We've got boss and delegate support coming. Call queues will be available for Teams. Consultative and safe transfers. Do not disturb breakthrough. The ability to break through to somebody who has do not disturb set, whereas do not disturb typically prevents you from breaking through. Distinctive ring. One-to-one group call escalation with Teams, Skype for Business, and PSTN participants. Forwarding to a group. Organizational auto attendant. So we've got the auto attendant and call queues coming by the second quarter of calendar year 2018. Transfer to PSTN call. That's pretty cool. And hybrid connection to Teams. Hybrid connection to Teams. Interesting there, huh? Out of office support. So, okay, moving down to the interop side of things, what should we expect? Call support between Teams and Skype consumer. So now we're Not just talking interop between Skype for Business and Teams, we're going to Skype Consumer as well. That's by second quarter of 2018. What do we have on platforms? We're going to aim to have support for existing certified SIP phones. We'll talk a bit more about that on another tab up here. USB, HID, and then finally we have some e-discovery enhancements for that time frame. Now, by the end of Q4 2018, we only have enterprise-grade capabilities that are on the agenda. Some pretty big deals, though. This is enterprise voice stuff that we haven't even seen in like Skype for Business online yet. So big deal here. Call park, group call pickup, location-based routing, and shared line appearance. There's going to be a lot less cases in which Teams will be an acceptable enterprise voice-like solution for many organizations. Not all. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying on-prem won't have its place by the end of next year, and that there won't be organizations that will still definitely need on-premises for various reasons. But there are a lot of companies who currently can't go to Skype for Business Online because of some of these things, and those cases are going to be whittled down. All right, so that's the roadmap. That's what we've got. I've listed all this stuff out as well so that it was in text format and more more search engine optimization friendly. SEO, not CEO. There we go. But if you would like to, click on this link down here at the bottom of my blog post, and it will take you to the actual announcement out on Tech Community for this. And then they have a number of links to the actual PDFs with these images, fast track portal with some of this stuff. Ask Microsoft anything is already done, but they also say there's a Teams on Air, which is happening in 8 minutes here. So you probably, by the time you watch this and go to this link, it'll be over, but you should be able to watch the playback. Okay, good stuff. Let's leave this blog post and let's go on to the next bit of news. Teams roadmap, very exciting. Keep watching for the announcements as they come out. Matt Landis, Office Servers and Services MVP, put a handy little post out there on the 18th of October. And this was about call queues getting some basic call statistics via PowerShell in phone systems. So, like Matt points out, they just noticed that more contact center light functionality has come to the phone system, formerly known as Cloud PBX, call queues. This feature pretty much is via PowerShell only, but he wants to point out this is in addition to the agent opt-out commandlet that they reported on back in September and that was announced at Microsoft Ignite, but is still not yet available. So if you use get CS hunt group PowerShell commandlet, you're going to see a new property called statistics. Clicking on this picture, there we go, statistics. Current queue size equals 1. He shows a series of images here that actually show, hey, here's a queue size at 0, no calls. Here's with 1 call. Here's with 2 calls. And he points out that the commandlet reports the queue size immediately, no 1-minute delay like in Skype for Business server response groups. So that's really cool, and this is going to be very important for building out dashboards and analytics and real-time information on what's going on within your call queues. So very cool stuff. Thanks for sharing this, Matt. This might be right up a lot of your alleys if you are building out solutions for this or will be extensively using call queues and need real-time metrics on it. Looks like some of the beginnings of those metrics are starting to make their way into the systems here. So, Matt, thanks for bringing this to us and drawing our attention to it. We appreciate it as always. Next up, Office Servers and Services MVP, Tom Arbuthnot, has a post out there for us on these Skype for Business online IP phones that I mentioned during the roadmap, one of those points in there. He points out that they will work with Microsoft Teams with some considerations. So let's dive into what that means. Like Tom points out in this post, this is actually thanks to a good detailed frequently asked questions blog post from Thomas Binder that clarified a lot of the questions around this, but Tom has kind of reproduced a few of these questions and added some of his own commentary. First question, right to the point. Will Skype for Business Online IP phone continue to work when I switch to Microsoft Teams? The answer here is yes. They plan to support Skype for Business Online certified phones, 3PIP, and LPE with Microsoft Teams. A little note is made that LPE phones mainstream support ends on April 2018, so what, 6 months from now? So support for any changes will be limited after that time. Like Tom points out, and I have to agree, kind of odd that they call that out, that they're even bringing the support for that when it's going to pretty much support is ending for it in 2018 anyway, but it is what it is. Um, Good news, all of these 3PIP phones are going to be supported, and on Teams, there won't be any changes there. The user experience on 3PIP and LPE phones will not change when a user moves to Microsoft Teams. There's no tenant admin or user actions or configuration that is required when users are switched to Microsoft Teams. This will not affect Skype for Business Server or IP phones working with Skype for Business Server. So the main thing to take away from that point is if you're using your phones now, you're not losing any functionality when you go over to Teams. Everything stays the same. Very good to know. Very smooth, very easy transition for people. Which Skype for Business Online phone system features will be supported with these IP phones when they're connected to Microsoft Teams? All phone system features in Skype for Business Online today, like call queues and auto attendant, will continue to work on 3PIP IP phones after switching to Microsoft Teams. All features. Authentication remains the same. Calling, no changes. Presence and picture information, yep. Corporate and local directory, still have access. Joining Skype for Business scheduled meetings online or server. All existing Skype for Business meeting capabilities will continue to work. Again, no changes here. All the same things that work now for Skype for Business Online will work for you in Teams with these phones. He does call out, though, that it's interesting that advanced features like call transfer and consult transfer, or better together over Ethernet, are not listed. That is interesting, and it would be good to know what the story is when it comes to that. These are core feature requirements for a lot of phone users, hoping it's an oversight. Now, if we jump down to features supported when an existing IP phone joins a meeting, and then features that are not determined if they'll be supported. So for supported, there are a good list of things here, very comforting set of features. For the not supported, this is a big one that he puts in red up top. They're not sure if they're going to support escalation of a P2P call to a meeting. I think most of us would agree that you probably should be sure about that and make sure that it is supported. My thoughts, anyway. Pretty sure Tom feels the same from this post, and I'm pretty sure most of you would think, yeah, this is a core requirement. You need to have this in place. So hopefully the product team solidifies that and moves it to the category up one. There's a number of other things in here that might not be big deals for most organizations, but still good to know and become familiar with. So like he calls out here, most of these are advanced meeting controls, and I would say they are not going to heavily impact most users, but being unable to go from person to person call to a conference will be an issue for some. Yes, definitely. Key point from the article, we will be working with our phone partners to deliver a new phone experience for advanced phone system and PBX features on our future roadmap for Microsoft Teams. Like Tom says, it's not clear if a new phone experience is new software or existing phones or new phones. He's guessing both, probably a good guess, but yeah, I assume that once they make this smooth transition and everyone is verified and comfortable that their current investments still work well and as they expect them to in Teams, then more innovation will start taking place when it comes to these actual handsets. That's my guess, but we shall see. Time will tell. Thanks, Tom, for an excellent post on that. All right, going back over to the main screen. Thank you all for joining me at the end of a very busy work week. I am going to wrap this day up in a little bit here, finish up some project work, and get ready to run a Tough Mudder tomorrow. I can't wait. I am stoked. The wife and I are going to be running our third Tough Mudder in Central Florida, and yeah, it's going to be good times. So I'll see you on the other side of that. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe. If you found the video helpful and useful, I would, of course, as always, encourage you to retweet or share it. Whatever works for you. Always appreciate the support. Thank you. We will see you next time. Adios.